Howdy guys, Attorney Walter Hnot. Now, what we're going to be going through in this video are specifically the cheapest states that you'll be encountering in 2023. This is particularly important for those who are on Social Security benefits, or put another way, fixed income that seems to always become less due to the cost of living adjustment. And it always seems to get worse with the more inflation that there is because the cost of living adjustment just doesn't seem to keep up. It doesn't seem like a fair calculation. Let's get right into it. These are the cheapest states to live in. Please also remember to like, subscribe, and leave 5-star reviews. I'm going to put the 5-star review link in the chat section below. If you enjoy this video at all, please consider it a 5-star link. We always appreciate them. Okay, now let's get right to it. The cheapest states. So remember, if you're on Social Security disability insurance benefits, supplemental security income benefits, retirement benefits, survivors benefits, widows benefits, auxiliary benefits, I ran out finger benefits, and basically, let's say, disabled little child benefit. If you're on any of these benefits, then these are states that are more likely to be affordable for you going forward. Let's go through it real quick. Also, happy Halloween. Howdy, howdy. Now, number one on this list is Mississippi. We are comparing these based off of the second quarter data for the cost of living adjustment specifics for each state based on the following categories: the index, the groceries, the housing, the utilities, the transportation, ran out of fingers again, the health, and the miscellaneous categories. We're going to be comparing this against, remember, the general federal allowance for 2023, which is an 8.7% COLA, cost of living adjustment. You had 5.9 last year. The worst state with the most expensive state down here is Hawaii. They got a 13.96 COLA. Now, they don't actually get that. That's just what their inflation was based on the second quarter data. Now we're going to go do the cheapest states, number one being Mississippi. Mississippi came in at around a 7.3 COLA. Oklahoma was number two with a 7.45 COLA. Remember, consider that against the 8.7. Now we're going to go to number three. Number three is Georgia with a 7.49 COLA. Excellent. Now we're going to go to number four, which is Alabama. They were at a 7.53 COLA. Now we're going to go to number five, all the way down to Arkansas. They were a 7.55 COLA. We're going to go back up to Missouri, a 7.56 COLA. And now to, let's see, Tennessee, a 7.58 COLA. Then we're going to go up to number 8, which is basically Kansas, a 7.63 COLA. Number 9, Indiana, a 7.68 COLA. And number 10, Iowa, a 7.74 COLA. All right, now you've probably all noticed that most of these states are red-oriented states. Blue states are significantly more expensive to live in, and those states that are kind of like islandy states, which, still includes, in this sense, Alaska, because it's up there all by itself, with Canada giving it a hug and Russia trying to snuggle it as well. But bottom line is that any of these, part of the general group states, and I was using other terms before that people just didn't understand about them to say this is the continental versus whatever. But the point is, those states that are like outside of the big clump, they're more expensive. The bottom line is this too. Blue states tend to have more, let's just say it, they tend to have better medical facilities set up. There are a few exceptions, Texas, Florida, obviously, but blue states tend to have better medical facilities set up. They also tend to have less of control when it comes to a proper breathing and healthy economy. It's more of a government, tons of policies to try and make it all work, even though it's completely not working. Whereas the red states tend to have worse medical treatment facilities, but they tend to have a much cheaper place to live in. The taxes tend to be significantly less, and there's less of having to create all these policies to try and make these other programs work with each other to make the whole thing be cohesive. As a result of that, the red states tend to be obviously significantly cheaper to be in. Those are the top 10 states to live in. Now, that does not mean the quality of life, the standard of living, is accurate with those figures. But as a general, because remember, if you're looking at those COLAs, you might assume, well, if these things are so low, is my standard of living going to go up? Is my standard of living going to go down? If I save a lot more money, will I have a better standard of living? Well, that all depends on something the blue states tend to excel at, which is infrastructure, with a lot of infrastructure for particular areas. Blue states tend to go ahead and spend significant amounts on infrastructure, although at the same time, blue states tend to have really bad crime. and crime rate issues, as opposed to with the restrictions on self-defense mechanisms, and that tends to create this like imbalance as well. So you either go with the cheaper red states where there's it's more like the Wild West, or you go with the more expensive blue states, which tend to have really bad violence and are also somewhat like the Wild West, but there's a lot more police officers that are running around trying to fix it. So it's one of those weird kind of, where do you want to live? What do you want to do? There's also another thing to keep in mind too, which is that certain states, states with really tall mountains, or states with really fantastic views or waterways or oceans, tend to shift and modify essentially what the cost of living adjustment would be. But if you're just going by the second quarter cost of living adjustments by state, like what the calculations are for inflation by state, the states that you want to live in to get the most bang for your buck are going to be the low COLA states, because that means on the scale of really expensive to live there and really cheap to live there, when they give you the national average COLA in the middle, you get the most benefit if you live in a cheap state, because you get to keep more of your money, and more of your money is worth more when you're buying things. All right, guys, I will catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful day. This is just a quick video. I got to go out to the barn and do a couple of things. The entire Marble Mountain Horse Estate, when it comes to all paddocks and all stalls that were available, have officially been rented, and the renter is starting tomorrow. I will catch you a little bit later. Have a wonderful night. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave 5-star reviews. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.